What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode. Coach Joe here with Heartletics.com. And if you guys are tuning in brand new, here's the thing. We're almost coming up to December, and that means we have basically 1 month left before 2023. And here's the thing. I do not want you guys to make this another year where you have that shiny object syndrome of, oh, I'm going to cut out my carbs or do intermittent fasting and a bunch of cardio and, lose a whole bunch of weight in the very beginning. But then, by the end of February, early March, you end up regaining all the weight right back because you fell off the wagon. So, honestly, it doesn't matter what you do in terms of like working out and in terms of about nutrition. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It's simply because if you go to heartletics.com, obviously there's a free fat loss guide, free fat loss video. It gives you all the tips and tricks right there. But to actually have success, and I don't mean success like lose 20, 30 pounds. I mean lose 20, 30 pounds, have more energy, have more confidence, and have the tools and the knowledge to not regain the weight right back. That's what I mean by success. And it all starts with a different mindset. Remember, the whole reason why this podcast exists is mainly for our clients. Because at the end of the day, Heartletics is not just, personalized meal plans and personalized workouts and personalized, programs and check-ins and, coaching. Like, no. What Heartletics is helping men become leaders. And sometimes, right, as men, you just need somebody to just break it down for you in a sense where it's so easy you can't mess it up. But remember, like that's simple. And that's what we do in terms of like, the meal plans, the workouts. We make it so easy you literally can't mess it up. But here's the thing, there's always going to be that bad wolf. It's always going to be in the back of your head, right? So my goal for the podcast is to help out our members as well as anybody listening in to just give them a different mindset. Because when they have a different mindset, remember, the reason why you are right now in terms of your health and fitness goals, in terms of your career, relationship, life, everything like that, is because of your thoughts and because of your daily habits and typically the words that spit out of your mouth, right? So it's very simple to say, how do we change our life? Well, let's first start off by changing our thoughts. And then we start changing the words that we say. And then, right, we're going to soon enough start having some different behaviors that's going to turn into habits. Hopefully, those habits are sustainable for you and your lifestyle. That's what Heartletic kind of preaches about. I mean, honestly, that's what we mainly preach about is creating sustainable habits. But most importantly, that's how you change somebody's life. So let's backtrack, right? And let's start thinking about your thoughts. And so in today's episode, I want to simply share with you guys a story, right? And this story is going to hit home. I love sharing this to our coaching clients because most of the guys that we coach, they're typically over, the age of 40. They're married. These guys typically have families and kids. So it's very easy for me to just share a simple story that's practical and relate it to somebody's health and fitness goals. And that's what I'm going to do for you guys today. So if you're listening to this right now and you're married, okay, this is going to really hit home. And even if you're not married, I'm pretty sure potentially, right, fingers crossed, you've been in some kind of relationship before. Even if it wasn't with a significant other, maybe, I don't know, used to be your old best buddy or a boss that you had, whatever the case may be, a acquaintance, somebody that was kind of close to you, regardless, right? You know some people in your life, okay? Now, let's bring it in a sense of marriage, okay? I'm married, right? My wife is Allison, right? Beautiful, beautiful lady, right? She's a 12 out of 10. We have a beautiful son, Oakley, right? But here's the thing. Like, it's not like we have a perfect marriage. And I don't know many people that do have a perfect marriage. But regardless, and I'm pretty sure you listening to this right now, you don't have a perfect marriage if you are married. And let's say if you're dating somebody or you've been in a relationship with somebody, odds are it was not all this honeymoon phase every single day, 24/7, right? Cool. So I want you to have the same realistic expectations when it comes to your health and fitness goals. So many times, right, people have a horrible relationship with themselves. And we see it all the time when guys sign up for our coaching program, meaning they have horrible self-limiting beliefs about themselves. Like, they constantly think that they're fat. They constantly feel like, oh, I've tried everything under the sun. Losing weight's not going to work out for me. It's genetics, quote unquote, right? Because it's complete BS. Like at the end of the day, it's just like, how do we change somebody's thoughts? Also, these guys say, horrible things about themselves, just like their affirmations are literally putting into a sense of forecasting their life, and the things that these guys say about themselves, no wonder they lack confidence. And so when somebody signs up for our coaching program, we really try to help them out mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. But I would say like this, like when we change somebody mentally, it's an instant physical transformation, because when you change who you are mentally, you can easily get the body that you want. So the relationship that you probably have right now with yourself probably isn't the best. So let's bring this back in terms of marriage. Okay. So me and my wife Allison, once again, I said this right. We do not have the, a perfect marriage. I don't know anybody does, right? Like we fight all the time, right? It happens, right? We literally, our biggest arguments occur when it comes to, we eat out a lot, right? So for everybody that thinks just because I'm a coach and I have six pack abs, like I eat healthy, I honestly don't. I'm just very good when it comes to my habits. I'm very good at hitting my calories and my protein and staying within my, my daily non-negotiables of like my steps, my water, my training, things like that we go over at Heartletics. But other than that, honestly, we eat out anywhere from like probably 3 to 5 times a week, right? And one of the biggest arguments that we always have, and I'm sure fellas, you could probably relate on this one, is figuring out where to go out to eat or what to order in. It's like, I don't know what it is, right? It's like Allison asked me, like, hey, what do you have a taste for? I'll immediately, right? I stop saying, like, oh, whatever you have a taste for, right? I immediately always say the same thing. I always say sushi. I'm a sushi fanatic, right? Here goes my wife. I don't want sushi. Well, okay, well then why'd you ask me, right? And then it's like, what do you want? Well, I don't know. Well, okay, you don't want sushi, and you don't really know what you want. So it's like, all right, now we go down the rabbit hole asking questions, and then it's just like, what gives, right? This could all been avoided, right? Plain and simple. And I laugh because it's so true. And I know a lot of people probably have the same arguments with their spouses about it. And so if you do, I'll say it like this. Here's the call to action for today. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below, right? Letting me know of like what's the biggest argument that you typically have over and over again, right, with your significant other. And then if you're listening to this and you are a Heartletics member, go to the community group, tag everybody, tag me especially, because I want to know, letting me know like what is one of your biggest arguments or the arguments that you seem to always have over and over again when it comes to like your significant other or your spouse. For me, it's definitely right. Me and Allison is like we fight, right? Like strangle each other just to figure out, what we should order in or where should we go out to eat. It's hilarious, but at the end of the day, like it literally goes into like a screaming competition. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm so passionate about sushi, but nonetheless, we get in arguments. Okay, and here's the thing, right? We've been married for a little bit over 6 years now, and we have not just constantly had like one argument and that was it. No, it's been highs and lows in any relationship, honestly. But the first time we have an argument, you think I'm just gonna throw in the white towel and just say, well, hey, you don't want to eat sushi, so I want a divorce? No, absolutely not. Like, at times, and we argue about like Amazon spending, right? Spending way too much money on Amazon, right? It's one of those things where it's just like, hey, it's a pretty, nobody likes to have those conversations. I don't think anybody does, right? Because somebody always plays the defense and somebody always plays like it's just awkward, right? And so it's one of those things that you need to have those hard conversations at times. And sure, it's a little bit weird at times, for a little bit until the emotions kind of mellow out. But once again, it's like, hey, sweetheart, you're spending way too much crap on Amazon. You think I'm just gonna go get a divorce instantly because of her bad spending habits? No. And there's plenty of times where I have my flaws, right? Like I'm obsessed with Heartletics, obsessed with work, right? You think she's just gonna go ahead and get a divorce because I'm in the office all day recording podcasts and obviously coaching clients? No, I don't think so. Fingers crossed, right? And there's other things, right? Like I'm pretty sure leave the house a mess. She has to constantly remind me to do different things like, doing the dishes or picking up stuff that I leave around. And hey, once again, nobody's perfect, but she's not going to go ahead and get a divorce from me just because I'm doing those things. And so the reason why I'm telling you this, and I'm sure you're probably listening right now and saying like, okay, like, yeah, that's all like fun and whatnot, but like, how does this apply to fat loss? How does this applies to, mindset with being prepared for 2023 so you can have success on your health and fitness journey? Well, it's very simple. Most of you guys are going to stumble upon some rough times on your health and fitness journey. I always say like this, right? Like, especially if you don't have a community, especially if you don't have people in your corner supporting you, most importantly, holding you accountable during those hard times, it's very easy for somebody to fall off the wagon and throw in the white towel. Well, I want you to realistically have the same relationship that maybe you have with your spouse in terms of, and next time you guys are dealing with an argument, whatever kind of argument it is, fingers crossed you guys don't throw in the white towel and just go ahead and get a divorce. But regardless, I want you to have the same consistency in your relationship with your spouse or your significant other as you do with your health and fitness goals. Once again, I start off with the beginning of this podcast saying that most guys, they have these horrible self-limiting beliefs about themselves. They say like, the rudest things about themselves, like, oh, I'm fat, I'm lazy, I'm, can't do this, and yada, 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 tried everything under the sun, right? All these different things. And it's just like your thoughts and your words have so much power, right? And that's one of the biggest things to why guys have so much confidence inside of our coaching program, because we retrain their mindsets. We retrain the words that they come out of their mouth, and it's different things like affirmations to just really help them with having a more positive outlook. But nonetheless, think about it. Literally, look up the stats. About like 70 to, I think it's more than that. I think it's like 77 to 88%, right, of the people out there that commit to having a New Year's resolution fail at it. Why? Because once again, anybody can do anything when life is easy. But it's when life throws you these curveballs, and here's the thing, life is always going to test you. Life is always going to throw you the curveballs. This is typically when guys, they don't have coaches, they don't have teammates, they don't have anybody in their corner supporting them. They strike out. And instead of them going back to practice the next day and trying to get better at why they struck out during that curveball, they decide to quit, right? And then typically what happens is a few months go by and hey, they're like, okay, I got to lose some weight now. I wasn't disciplined enough the first time cutting out carbs. So they try to do it again, and typically they fail again over and over and over again. And that's why year after year, it's the same old effect. Lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight. They call it the yo-yo effect, right? The rebounding when it comes to dieting. And it doesn't have to be like that, simply because, one, you have to have the same relationship, right, with your body, your mindset, your health and fitness goals as you do with your spouse. It's that simple. You're not going to get a divorce just because your spouse doesn't want to eat at the same restaurant as you do. At least I hope not. You're not going to go ahead and get divorced just because you guys get in a little argument here and there. And I bet you anything that, the more and more you progress into your marriage or your relationship with somebody, and you guys overcome the hard times together, it gets a lot easier, Like eventually I'm probably going to stop telling my wife, hey, I want to eat out at sushi. I'm going to pick something different, right? I'll pick Chipotle or, whatever the case may be. I'll pick some different recommendations, different options, because it's going to get easier. The more we grow together, the more we learn together. And some of you guys have a horrible relationship with, once again, your bodies, your mindsets, everything like that. And you stop trying to grow. You stop trying to learn. You stop trying to adapt. I always say like this, typically when guys get married, they get these cushy 9-to-5 jobs and, have these families, have kids. They quit playing the game of life. And the game of life is so much fun. I'm a young buck here, right? I'm only 30 years old, but here's the thing. I'm constantly playing this game of life. And even when I fail, I continue to learn because I don't give up. I don't just, play this video game of life. And when I hit a bump in the road and I fail, I don't just turn off, the game and just go back to whatever. Like, no, I just keep on playing. And then I learn from my failures. And that's why failure, right? Failing is a stepping stone to success. And the way that you get better and better and better and more sufficient when it comes to your health and fitness goals is just by being consistent. Honestly, when somebody signs up for our coaching program, We send them over this little card with affirmations to kind of help them with their mindset, a better morning structured morning routine, but also these wristbands. It says Heartletics on it. It says consistency is key. And it's that daily reminder to just simply look down at your wrist and just say, oh, yeah, I just need to be consistent. Like whatever I did yesterday, maybe I went for a walk. Let's just do that again today. Try to get some steps in. Maybe I did, some push ups yesterday, some sit ups. Hey, let's just do that again today. It's just one of those things where you just slowly, slowly, slowly start to establish better habits for yourself. Now, I'll give you guys the cheat code, right? On really what makes Heartletics successful is the fact that we have a bunch of guys that are probably no different from you at all. Honestly, like if you go to heartletics.com, you're going to see all these guys over 40. Their before and after photos are right there. Testimonials are right there. You're going to see on the left-hand side who they were, like right when they got signed up with Heartletics. I bet you anything these guys aren't different from you at all. So what makes Heartletics so successful to where on the right side, they get this amazing successful transformation is simply the fact that, hey, all these guys are all doing it together. Now, sure, their meal plans are all different from one another because it's all personalized. Their workouts are all different from each other because it's personalized. Some people work out at home. Some people work out in the gym, different days of the week to whatever best structures their schedule. Regardless, though, everybody comes together as a unit, a community, right? We call it the wolf pack. And this is where everybody thrives together. Recently a member just basically said, hey guys, I fell off the wagon, right? Very, very hard for me to do, but I went back to my old ways. It's been a few weeks. Like, I just need some help. And he actually reached out to me and the coaches. The first thing that we said is one, forgive yourself. Two, don't just tell us, tell your team, because you don't want to let your team down. You right? And like, here's the thing, that team is also going to help you up. So this individual, and I give him a huge shout out for doing this, he made a post inside the community group. He tagged everybody. And next thing you know, it was just boom, 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 right? Probably 50, 60, 70 different, messages right back to this individual, tagging him and just, making sure that, hey, dude, it's okay. We're here for you. We got you, dog. Like, you're not going to fail anymore. Thank you for being open and honest with us. Thank you for coming to the community group and, telling us this. Hey, let's make sure we hold you accountable now. And it's awesome. And that's the reason why the Wolfpack, our community group, is the success behind Heartletics. There's nothing else like that. I mean, think about it. Back when you were playing sports, you had your buddies with you on the football field or, baseball diamond or the basketball court. I mean, you can't realistically win a sports game one versus everyone else. I mean, the only sports that I think of is like, kind of like boxing or MMA or kickboxing or whatever, jiu-jitsu. But behind the scenes, like there's coaches, there's teammates that's helping you in practice to improve on your craft, to improve on your skills. So I challenge you, man. Who's holding you accountable? Who has your back? Because at the end of the day, I mean, one, for starters, you got to change your mindset, right? Going back to what this whole entire podcast is all about is you need to have the same relationship with your body and your mindset as you do with your spouse or your significant other. You can't just throw in the towel anytime it gets hard. Two, you got to understand that it's going to be hard. That's the inevitable. Anytime you're stepping outside your comfort zone, it's going to be tough. But three, who is holding your back? Who is helping you out during those hard times, especially when life throws you the curveballs? So that way, even if you do strike out, hey, they're going to make sure that you're showing up to practice the next day so that way you can improve on that. Guys, I'm telling you right now, right? Like, December is going to be here in a few days. And then after that, right, it's going to be in a blink of an eye, right? I hear about it all the time. I've been literally doing online fitness coaching with Heartletics for over 6 years now. It's been insane. We've helped thousands of guys, and I hear about it all the time in December. Joe, I'm going to get signed up in the new year. Joe, I'm going to get signed up in the new year. Joe, I'm going to get signed up in the new year. Joe, I'm going to get signed up in the new year, right? Because this is typically what happens. Guys see my Facebook ad with my shirt off. They want to look like me. They want to establish all these habits. They like what they hear about this free fat loss guide. They download the free fat loss guide. I instantly start texting them. They think I'm a robot. They think I'm a scam, right? Yada, yada, yada. We're going back and forth on their goals. I have to earn their trust, ask them to hop on a call, see if it's a good fit for, applying for our coaching program, which is completely free of charge. And then, hey, I still hear some objections. Oh, man, the holidays are coming up, man. I want to save my money. Oh, man, you know what? It's just now's not a good time with, the holidays and traveling. Like, I just want to wait. And then I follow up with these guys, right, in the beginning of the new year, like, hey, bro, what happened, man? Like, are we still good? You still want to get the ball rolling in your health and fitness goals? Oh, you know what? I got this. I found something else. I'm going to give this a go. It's like, okay, so just out of curiosity, what did you find? And I'll hear things like, oh, I'm just going to do like keto, or I'm just going to do like Weight Watchers, or Noom, right? Or this carnivore diet, or, oh, I found this other coach. He's a lot cheaper. And I'm like, okay, so what's the coach's name? Oh, well, it's this guy. And, so I look him up. I'm like, oh, it's okay, that guy, right? You guys know this guy, but I'm not going to say his name, obviously. But, okay, are you ever going to talk to this guy, right? Like, his program, right, rhymes with D and shred. We'll just say it like that. You ever talk to that guy? Oh, no, I never talked to him. Just his email support team. And, oh, there's a community group in Facebook where if I ever need help, I can reach out. Like, okay, so you never actually talk to the face of the guy that's actually, his program? No. Okay, so interesting. And like these workouts, what are you doing? Oh, well, I got like all these HIIT workouts and, it's like 30 minutes and just really aggressive and hard in the paint. Cool. And you're a 50-year-old truck driver and with a bad knee and bad back and you're going to be doing HIIT interval training? Okay, how well is that going to work out for you, right? And I just hear about this stuff time and time again. And these other guys and I'm not trying to bash other coaches by any means and put myself up on a pedestal because it's regardless, it's your decision. I'm just letting you guys know the reality of what's out there. Anybody can have fancy marketing and have six-pack abs and say, oh, buy these supplements or, oh, do this program. It's only $50 a month, right? Or P90X, right? You're going to look just like this guy. But once again, those programs are all catered. If it's, cookie cutter, low ticket, think about it. It's all catered to the millions out there. Well, why is it that if there's programs that are very inexpensive, right? $50 a month, $90 a month, whatever the case may be, why is it that over 45% of the US population is considered obese? Think about that. Realistically, think about that. And it's simply because, once again, one, I don't know any coaching program out there in the world that gives as much support as Heartletics. Two, we have the best community group in the world, hands down. Like literally, the community group inspires me. I've been doing this for over 6 years, and this group that we have right now with all these guys, it is insane. It's on fire. I look to that group for inspiration. And lastly, is I don't know any other coach out there or any other program out there that mixes not just the physical attributes, and I don't mean just like, hey, working out and eating healthy. I mean like the physical attributes of creating sustainable habits that work best for somebody's lifestyle, but mixing that with the mentality, right? We're really helping guys mentally plus emotionally become the best version of themselves. Why? Because Heartletics is all about helping men become leaders. And so if you want to continue to be a little boy, continue to try these things up on a wall and see what sticks, right? And, hope and pray that something's going to work out for you in the end. Hey, that's fine. And fingers crossed, I hope something does work out for you. But before something works out for you long term, first and foremost, you got to find something that is sustainable for you and your lifestyle. And before that even happens, you got to make sure you have the right mindset. And I promise you anything, if you mix the Heartletics podcast, you're going to get the right mindset because that's all this podcast episode is here to do, is give you guys a different outlook, give you guys a different mindset. So guys, to recap things is stop getting a divorce with yourself every single time life throws you a curveball and you deal with an argument, right? Plain and simple, right? Like treat your body, treat your mindset the same way you treat your spouse, your significant other. You're going to go through some hard times. No relationship is perfect, but at the end of the day, like it's going to get easier in the end. You need to treat your health and fitness goals the same. I promise you that. And once you start having a better relationship with yourself, a better outlook in life, more positive thoughts, more positive words coming out, you will have a positive life, hands down. And if you guys want to know the cheat codes and have massive success to make things a lot easier for you, hey, go to heartletics.com. Check out our community group video, and you can hear from these guys on how it literally has changed their life and how, once again, this could all happen in your life as well. With that being said, guys, this has been the Heartletics Podcast with Coach Joe. If you got any value at all from today's episode, do me a favor, go share this with a friend. Go share this on your social media page like Facebook or something. Maybe share it on your Instagram stories on Instagram. Tag me in it so I can definitely repost it. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys all in the next episode. Peace out, Girl Scouts.